So in the next few minutes, what we're going to do is we're just going to have a 2 to 3 minute closing comment from each person. And if it's all right, we'll go ahead and start with Laura. And would you like to come join us? We have a parental consent on file for this at the end of the day.
Thank you. This is my daughter, Claire Barnett, and she is actually a student at Rossview Middle School with Tammy, and have a seat here, and has had the experience of participating on the student level in PBS and has earned Hawk Dollars. What are some of the things you spent your money on?
They're like little pencil grips you can get. I like to put on my pencil. Just knickknacks, little things that aren't really worth anything that are fun to play with.
I think she has appreciated the homework passes. I know there are nights we stay out late, and it's nice to go in and purchase a homework pass. They asked me to share my yearbook from this school year, and it's entitled Positively in PMS. And our school rules are be responsible, be respectful, be engaged. And we had several students who commented on what that meant to them, kids from different areas of the school and different grade levels. I'll read you a couple of their comments. Being responsible means keeping up with all my work. Treat people the way you want to be treated and stay focused. Be ready at all times. And the kids have really bought into these 3 rules being very simple to follow because they're very close to the golden rule.
I guess one thing I want to share is just for those of you that are starting your program is just stick with it. As I look back now, there's things that were a big fight for us with our faculty, that we had this expectation and it was this, I can't believe you're asking us to do this, and now it's just what we do. Simple things like at the very beginning we had an entrance and exit activity that was required of all teachers. And I think it was more part of you can't tell us how to teach, but if you look and if you'll make sure you put things in your plan that are academically sound, which that one is, there's a number of research that shows that if you have entrance and exit activities that it improves your academic data, that you save time, it improves discipline, there's a lot of things. And so it's rewarding to me now, when we first told teachers to do that there was resistance, but now it's what we do, and teachers will say, well, do this in your entrance activity or do this in your exit activity, and every time you go into a class you see those things happening. And I haven't talked much about, we've talked more about behavior, but there's a really big payoff on academics. Our school has been tremendously successful with our TCAP scores. A couple of years ago we got straight A's in achievement and in growth. Just had 1B last year, and we've got our data back. We're hoping for straight A's in both on this year. But that comes from this because we're spending a lot less time dealing with these behaviors, and we're spending a lot more time on academics. We, both administrators, we can spend more time working with our teachers, helping them to be better teachers instead of just putting out fires. So there's huge benefits academically, and then also socially. The things that really are going to pay off more than the academics, we're teaching kids to be respectful. We're teaching kids how to deal with people, how to treat others, and hopefully they're learning that, one thing we talk about in our school a lot is being kind, that if you're kind to other people, then there's huge benefits for that, and that's going to help them in all the relationships. So there's just, I guess the final thing I'd say, in our program this year, because there's so much on teachers, that now, I think when we started, PBS is like this little program we're sort of doing on the side. And I think now it's a huge part of what our school is. We've have a mentoring program that's part of it. Our academics are a part of it. The screeners, our whole school's involved in it. We have an advisory class in the morning where we teach our social curriculum, and everything is just all tied together. And so, again, don't try to do all that in 1 year, but I think if you work towards that, it's just something that can pull all the different areas of your school together.
We have been working for 6 years on schoolwide in our building, and one of the things that we do with our team, and I've been a part of that team since the beginning, and we've had people come and go, is that every year when we sit down, the first question we ask when our notebooks hit the table is, are we still committed? Is this something that we feel like we can do, and we can go out and make sure that we are a group of people that can be positive and we support what we do and we're able to communicate that to our group? The day that we don't have that will be the day that we'll have to do something differently. But so far, we do that every year, and every single person, every single member has committed. The 2 4-letter words, or the 1 4-letter word, yeah, yeah. The first one is time, and that's the hardest part of getting it through. I won't tell you what the other one is, but the time is the most difficult part. And once you get that down, that you do save time in the long run, that this is something that your kids constantly isn't coming in and out, they aren't coming in and out of your class, disrupting, constantly, and that you're actually able to instruct, and it makes your life easier, and it makes the kids' life easier, and it makes the kids in your classroom who are affected by these interruptions, it makes their school years easier, then that's a sell that you have. This is work. And it is a huge part of being creative and thinking differently, but the payoff is huge. And if you love kids and you're in the profession because of that, you will thoroughly enjoy this approach to helping students.
My passion is for that 85% that always do exactly what you want them to, and a lot of them get overlooked and never rewarded. And that's why I got into this. I told Kathleen that the first time I met her. I'm not trying to save the world, but I'm trying to keep the ones that are on the right path going that way. And I am involved in secondary and everything, but those kids that are quiet and always do their work and are great kids, a lot of these administrators never get to meet them. So I have that luxury of knowing them, and by them getting into it is what got me really motivated to make sure that our school became a place where doing the right thing got you something additional. Because my argument with teachers on extrinsic and intrinsic, which I didn't even know those words 7 years ago probably, but the reward, I argue all the time, and I'm like, if nothing ever happens, but these kids that are self-motivated have never turned down a $25 gift card when I called their name. And if you are an intrinsically motivated person, would you still give the same passion at your job if you weren't getting a paycheck? A lot of our older kids feel like they're working and not getting anything. Although we know they're getting an education, they're getting a grade, can't sell that to a 9th grader. You have to have more than that. And so I fight those battles, and I do believe that the program itself, you gear it towards your school, and you'll see a huge difference in behavior, climate, environment, and just the overall feel of your school being a positive place to be. And I think that's what we've gotten to now. It just takes a lot of buy-in and a lot of results with those rewards for that positive behavior. So.
Everything I was going to say has been said. No, it's okay. Yeah.
I'm going to steal
I think the most important thing, the 2 biggest things that I would highlight are related to the external and the intrinsic piece, that the teachers who argued in the fiercest way for there not to be external reinforcement, it's a really easy discussion, because when they come, the things that they're most frustrated about, the things that they want to leave the profession over, are generally the kids who don't have the intrinsic motivation. And so I encourage people to remember that the group of kids that will benefit the most from this are the kids who don't have it inside them yet. And that's a part of our job, is to create the goodness inside, whether that's academic or that's behavioral or that's socially. And so if we can tap into those people, I actually am unlike Chris. I do want to save the world, and it's the 15% that I'm in it for. We're doing great. But I think that's a critical piece, is to remind people that we are in this job for the whole kid, and there's not just one piece of it that makes the kid the whole kid. And so until they have that goodness inside, it's a part of our job to create it. Another piece that I think is the most important is often, in my experience, teachers and even administrators and district level people think this is just another thing, this is just another program. And I think it's really important to remind people that it's not a program, that this is a culture, and it's kind of been said here, and you can hear it as the theme that kind of runs through, whether we're talking about administrators doing it or we're talking about the feel of our school or the face of our yearbooks. This becomes the culture of your school. And so when teachers start to feel like it's too much, and they will, and when administrators start to feel like it's too much, and they will, we have to be the people who remind them that this is the way we want our schools to feel, this is the way we want our world to feel, and this is how we get there. This isn't the steps of a program. You can't take any one thing from each of this and make it yours. You have to make the program feel like your school. And I think that as much as you, as the people who are implementing this in your school, can make it feel less like a program and more like how you want your school to be, that's where success lies. I think that I only know that from the years in, so good luck.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you listening to this expertise. And, when we started this, I've been doing this for about 15 years. I never dreamed that there would be, the luxury of working with such incredibly competent people. And I think they've built this phenomenal programs, no, but framework, yes. They have come in, they've integrated their academics, their behavior, their social component. They've considered kids' additional needs. We have people that do want to save the world and people that are focused on the 85%. But I just want to emphasize that as you're going through and building this framework for your school, that you realize this is going to be a journey. It's not going to happen one day. And that in each of these levels of prevention, primary, secondary, and tertiary, will teach you what you need to know to build successful programs, but also to really focus on making sure that they're happening. We'll work with you to set up programs for monitoring their treatment integrity. We want you to have an opportunity to build in a voice for each of your main constituencies, the teachers, the parents, the kids. And I feel like I'm, again, standing here on the shoulders of giants, and I'm just grateful for this opportunity, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you.